right, I'd like to introduce a special guest, Angela Martinez from Nashville, Tennessee. She's a woman of many talents, but just to name a few, she's a singer, songwriter, and an author. Um, we invite her on because she's from Tennessee to see what's going on in her neck of her woods. So, Angela, what's it like over there?
Quiet, very, very quiet, which is never quiet in Nashville. Actually, downtown is like a ghost town. It's crazy. They show pictures of it on the news, and there's like nobody there. And you lived here, you know how it is.
Right.
It's never ending music and partying and everything downtown. So
yeah, not like, Vegas.
Yes, that's exactly right. But yeah, it's really weird. I have a lot of musician friends and stuff like that because I'm, a singer songwriter, and they're just all at home doing Facebook Live concerts. So at least we have that.
Yeah, I definitely seen photos of Nashville being dead, like on the main Broadway street, and it's just so weird to see it empty like that.
It really is, because our whole city is built on tourism and having people from everywhere else coming to Nashville and partying and stuff, and so like we don't have any of that, plus we don't have any of our people there either, and so it's a really weird feeling. I saw an article and it said the day that music died in Nashville, and I was like, no.
Ah, that's a powerful title.
That got my heart, because it's the heart and soul of this town. So
Angela, I'm Ryan, and I live in St. Louis, Missouri.
Okay.
So I can attest to lots of, I've only been here for 3 years, but lots of people take, weekend trips to go to Memphis or Nashville. It's so close. Yeah. I can appreciate it is a tourist area, and that must really affect a lot of people's emotions, and it's got to be really tough. Have you noticed people doing something special or out of the normal besides the live videos? There's other ways people are reaching out musically. I
haven't seen that. The Zoom is definitely a way that people have started connecting as well. Mm. And so, that's I think been a lifesaver for a lot of the musicians, because you can only do so many Facebook Lives, especially because you can't connect with them the same way that you can on Zoom, because I'm looking and talking to you guys, or on Facebook you only get to see comments. So I know a lot of us are thankful for that. We've had a triple whammy for Nashville, because we had the tornado that hit in the beginning, I think it was the beginning of March, and that took out, they call it East Nashville, and that area got hit really hard. And then Easter Sunday, we got hit again in Chattanooga with the EF3 tornado.
Wow.
And then of course the virus. So it's like we've been hit really, really hard.
How do you feel that your government, are people taking it upon themselves to enforce the social distancing, or do you see is there a lot of protests there?
Well, funny you should ask that question, because we had our first one today. That was what I was telling Tamara. I was like, I gotta tell her about this. Yeah, we had our first one today, and I don't know, I had mixed feelings about it, because I think it's important for people to be able to express their feelings. That's part of our constitutional right, to be able to express that. But there was probably a group of maybe 200 or so all together, and they had a little baby about 2 or 3 years old walking, and then they had a kid in a stroller.
That's not something you can even counter protest, or else you're doing
it's like, and what the funniest part about it is that nobody's in the state capitol building today. So what's the point? At least if you're gonna make a statement, do it when somebody's actually listening.
Hi, Angela. I'm John. I'm from Philadelphia area, and I also see it's like a ghost town out there when I drive around. Yeah, I imagine it's the 4th, 5th week. I feel like I'm feeling it, the frustration a little bit of just being, social distancing, and you expect a result after a while, and then they're still saying stay at home, and everyone's lives and living, especially Nashville, music and the scene. In Vegas and those other areas, I can only imagine.
Yeah, I think that's what a lot of that protest was all about. It was Like, we want to get back to work, we want to get back to life, but there's a fine line, because if all those people that are there, even if there's one or two of them that are sick, and now they've just spread it, now they've just lengthened the amount of time that we're going to have to be sitting here, So,
right.
yeah.
I kind of think of it as it's kind of like drunk driving, right? If you could drive home and not see anyone, you're not putting anyone else in danger. But that's why we can't drive. You can't drink and drive because you're putting other people at risk. That's what it's like. They're fighting for their right to put other people at risk. I mean, you can't protest the virus. There is not anyone's control.
Exactly. Yeah. And I was thinking too, it's like, well, somebody's organizing it, because all of a sudden you don't just say, okay, I'm just gonna have this protest the same day and everybody shows up and everybody gets their signs and everything like that. I mean, there's thought that's going into this whole thing, so it'll be interesting to see how that kind of develops and how people kind of handle the protest. I think when I looked, there was 397,000 views on that protest. Yeah, there was a lot of comments and a lot of people that were having a lot to say about it. So it'll be interesting. But our Governor Bill Lee, he wants this. He wants Tennessee to open back up again. I mean, he comes from the small business background. He has the Lee Company, had that experience of a small business and growing it like he did and all that stuff. He understands the impact that it's having on the smaller businesses and the downtown area and all that stuff. So he's a lot more hesitant to keep things closed than some of the other states are, I think. He didn't even want to put us, we're doing the stay at home. He just made it mandatory not too long ago. Like, he's on the tail end of what a lot of other states were doing.
Did Nashville take the lead on that themselves as a city before the entire state?
Well, Mayor Cooper, he actually has been very instrumental. Like, he's been all about trying to help Nashville, because we're the biggest area here, at least for that's being hit. Like, I think I was trying to look up the numbers because I watched your other podcast and you guys were very accurate on your numbers. Davidson County is one of the areas that's been hit the hardest, which is where I'm at. And we've got 1,237 cases and 18 deaths. The whole state, there's 6,762 that have been confirmed and 145 deaths.
Wow, that's something.
Yeah, it's pretty scary, actually. They said that within the last the last 24 hours, we've had 75 new cases.
Yeah, that's how it starts, increasing.
Yeah, and Nashville is also interesting because we have, the healthcare industry is very large in Nashville. So, we have Vanderbilt Hospital, St. Thomas Hospital, we have that. So there's a big area, and Vanderbilt is a research hospital too. So, I mean, there's a lot of different things going on here in relation to the coronavirus.
Yeah, I was actually supposed to be in Nashville this weekend for a bachelor party. And surprisingly, I knew it was going to be canceled, but I still bought the plane tickets and we still booked and it was like a month ago that there was still some gung-ho people that were like, yeah, we're going to do it. I'm like, no, you guys aren't. You guys, this is not going to happen. And they were gung-ho until about 2 weeks ago, where it was just like 100% had to be canceled.
Yeah.
I really wanted to explore Nashville. Nashville is one of those places I've always wanted to visit, just for like the history and the music and the culture there. So one of these days, I guess I'll have to check it out.
Yeah, it's an amazing place. We actually had one of our biggest festivals canceled. It's usually June, I think 9th through the 12th or something like that, but usually we have people from all over the world come to that. So if you love country music, that's definitely an event that you'll want to come and see, because it's amazing.
Have you been doing a lot of live stuff on Facebook? Have you?
I've done a few, yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Like impromptu kind of things where you just kind of pick your guitar up and just sing a song,
I kind of a karaoke night one day and just had some fun with it, because you know it's I think that's what we need right now, just a lighthearted fun and just having a good time and bringing out the joy that we can in the moment, you know?
That's cool.
I saw that your karaoke, and it was neat because the comments, people can make requests, and Angela will sing it. Like,
Cool.
so it's definitely nice to see something positive when you're on Facebook, like scrolling, you know, to see something like that.
Yeah, it was fun. I had a good time.
And Tammy showed us your music video, which was pretty nice in support of the healthcare workers in Nashville.
Yep.
Very inspiring, I would say. How did that come about?
Well, I actually had the song Never Give Up probably 3 or 4 years ago. I never put it out. I don't know why. There was just something, I just kind of kept it to myself. And then, well, I had a baby, so that kind of slowed things down a little bit. I was just sitting listening to the words, and I was like, this is the perfect message for people to hear right now. Like, we need to never give up. The inspirational message in it, people needed to hear right now. And so, you know, part of it is sharing and getting it out there. And so I really wanted to honor the people that are out there on the front lines that are fighting the coronavirus every single day. Because, I mean, I was talking to friends of mine that are nurses. They were telling me the stories of what's going on. And I was just like, this would be amazing if I could just get photos from people and just incorporate it into the video and really just honor these people, you know? And so I reached out to Tamra, and I reached out to my friend Dorothy, a friend in New York. I mean, I got pictures from all across the country, which is really amazing. I just put it all together, and I'd never edited a video before, so I did all that by myself, and it was definitely a learning experience.
That was really impressive. Yeah, it's a really powerful message. And last time I checked, you're almost at 2,000 views already, so that's awesome.
Yeah,
it's being shared countrywide.
It's really amazing, and I hope it keeps sharing because I want as many people to see it as we can, so that they know how appreciated that they are and how loved they are, and just what a difference that the work they're doing every day is making.
Have you been utilizing this time recently to write a lot of stuff? Are you using this time to kind of write some new material, or how are you utilizing?
I've been doing that. Well, I also have a book too, so I've been kind of working on some ideas with that. And then cool. I have my Warrior Within coaching brand, and so like I've been trying to figure out exactly, you know, how I'm gonna build that. And you know, it's just really a time to reflect and just to figure out my next steps. That's kind of what I've been doing.
Your other book called Never Give Up is segments of your song, actually. So each chapter is, you know, different, a real life character that's talking about a really harsh like situation. And because you always hear about successful people, but you never hear about their journey, how hard it is. And it's you know, it's really good. It's really like raw. When you read it, you kind of hear each person, like how they like, you know, how they went through it. And then it's always like a good message at the very end. Definitely good, like inspirational book. But it was really neat how it does tie in with your song, actually. So, which is very unique.
Yeah.
And it was really neat to have, you know, the cross networking that each, you know, if the person was opening a cupcake shop or whatever their business was, if you have the digital version of the book, there was a link to either hear more about their story or to, you know, right to their webpage. So it was really interesting. It was a very unique book I read. So I thought it had a different platform than most.
Yeah, it's, you know, the way that I did it, I incorporated people that, you know, have been successful in the area that they've been working in, or just a really life-changing experience.
So is there like where would you get the book? Is there places or online that you can buy the book? Or
yeah, so you can get it on Amazon. It's available on Amazon, or you can purchase from warriorwithincoaching.com.
That's awesome. We've never promoted anything before. This is the first. I'll be sure.
Yeah, we'll put a link. We'll put a link on our podcast page to your book.
Thank you.
I think we can do that.
And also to your video.
Into the video.
Yeah, Angela, I love the video. I watched it today. It's cool to hear that you did it 3 years ago, the song, and then you're utilizing it in this way. Like it had a time, it was just waiting for the right time to come out. And
Right.
it was a great song, and the video itself was a great, like you said, inspirational. And I like that you included so many different people in it, just showing the behind the scenes, you know, somebody smiling behind that mask, which we see a lot of pictures of them with their masks on, but just knowing that there's a smile behind there, and that, you know, people go into those fields because they want to help people. And man, they are, you know, they are directly helping this pandemic, and all of us, by staying home, are indirectly helping it. So it's all, the message, never give up, it related to me as out to everybody, you know, don't give up. Like, it might seem everybody's having their own experiences, but for us to be successful and come out of this, we have to persist. Like you said, never give up, right? Yeah. This kind of thing, it's a life-changing thing for all of us, you know, and I'm really glad that we're able to document it in this way, and with music videos and with podcasts and books. And thank you for sharing that with us.
Thank you. Well, it's interesting. It's definitely the coronavirus has definitely changed the way that we all communicate. I mean, everybody knew Zoom has been around for a long time, but nobody's been using it, you know? And now here we are, all of us.
That's true. But Zoom's been around, and now, like we were talking about that one of our other podcasts, that Zoom stock like zoomed up, like zoomed.
There's
Literally.
people that are probably wishing that they would have invested a little sooner.
Yeah, I think we really should be grateful for these technologies. People relate this pandemic to the 1918 influenza outbreak. Think about how communication was then, and what quarantine must have felt like for them. We have the luxury of just even having all of humankind knowledge at the fingertips of most of us with these things, right?
Yes.
Wow, you're so right, Ryan. We shouldn't be going crazy. We have no excuse. We have all this like technology. It's not like the, you know, Wi-Fi's down or anything.
But I mean, it's also a significant life change. Like, their life change might have been a little different too, like from where their daily life was before the virus hit, and then after. You know, they just couldn't communicate with people, but maybe their lives were much different too, of course. Yeah, our lives changed a lot too, so I mean, it's just as significant.
Yeah, it's what I think is going to be interesting is that as we get back to normal life, I don't think it's going to be the same ever again. I mean, we've got, because there is this virtual part that we brought into it, you know, I think jobs are going to be different for sure. I mean, like, my dad was actually talking to a headhunter, and, you know, normally when you're looking for a position, you look in your area, you know, you're just looking for something that's local.
Oh, so not an actual headhunter. Okay. Wait, I'm thinking of like a tribal headhunting thing here.
But like the whole thing is that the guy told him, he said, he's like, well, now you can go look for jobs in New York or California and not even leave your house. It's going to be really interesting to see what impact this has after, you know, we kind of get out of our houses again.
I was thinking about that too, that, you know, how many jobs where actually companies will just be like, well, we'll just have them still work at home, this like section of our office, and maybe downgrade to a small office because most of our employees can now work from home. They're all set up. They could just like stay that way. So,
yeah,
you know, maybe
we'll
less
cut their overhead.
Right.
It makes me think of when Hurricane Katrina hit in 2005 in New Orleans. Of course, that could happen again, but people still rebuilt in those areas.
Yeah.
You know, maybe they built their houses differently, knowing that something like this could happen again. And for what's going on now, this could happen again. And, you know, it is going to be different because a lot of people, if you're investing money, I mean, you know that something like this can happen again. So you're going to maybe, like you said, like downgrade to a smaller office. You don't need to have this much space if people can work from home. As a musician, maybe some of these things that you're doing now because you're forced to, do you think you're going to continue those because they're reaching a different audience or more audience?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's more intimate. It's a lot more intimate than it is when you're, you know, in a big stage and you've got tons of people. Because most of the time you can't see them. You know, like right now I'm seeing you guys. So I think there's going to be a lot more like using Zoom and that kind of stuff to create the intimate type of concerts and stuff like that, and or the experiences, you know. I mean, even the fact that they were talking about, I think it was Dierks Bentley, one of his guitar players was on, and they were saying that all their gigs are canceled for like a whole year. They know that people are going to be cautious about going into large groups. It's going to take us a while to get away from that fear that people can catch this thing. And because it's non-symptomatic, the scary part about it is you can have it and not even know you have it.
Yeah, that's really scary. Going back to the tornadoes, I remember I kind of asked you, because I knew you were doing some volunteer work, you know, to take care packages for people that, you know, were affected by the tornadoes, because it really leveled some huge areas out. And
yeah,
I can't believe Germantown's like gone, but I was kind of wondering if like people were even donating toilet paper, because right when after that happened and this happened, and you couldn't find toilet paper in the grocery stores, so. That was one of the questions I was asking. Like, is people even donating toilet paper to poor people anymore, and bottles of water?
No, I don't know the answer to that. I'm hoping they do. They call us the volunteer state because we tend to step up when things are tough for people, even at the sacrifice of ourselves sometimes. So I'm sure there's probably a lot of people that are doing things to help.
Right, it's hard to do volunteer work because you're not allowed to be near each other anymore, you know, to even make those little take care packages.
When I was there doing the, you know, the volunteer work, the coronavirus had just, you know, started to take speed and started, you know, people were starting to catch it and they were starting to talk about it and stuff. And so, like, even in that environment, like, we all had gloves on and we were like, you know, because, you know, we were touching people's clothes and stuff like that. So we had to be really careful, and they were already talking about being cautious. So
right, cross-contamination,
yeah. And so at that point, I don't remember toilet paper coming in, but that really wasn't, that wasn't a big thing. I think it was maybe a week or so after that all of a sudden you couldn't find toilet paper anywhere. Which is it still blows my mind, because that's not one of the symptoms of the virus. So you would think, you know, like, I don't know. But I told you we bought a bidet anyway, so I guess we're part of it.
Yeah. End of the world luxury.
Yeah.
All right. So we're about to try to wrap it up now. So.
Well, I appreciate you guys so much for having me on the show.
Thank you for coming on. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. We really appreciate it.
Yeah. What's your plans for the future, Angela?
Well, I'm going to write some more books, record some more songs. And I mean, with Never Give Up, I'm going to try to get that out as much as I can. You know, like I said, it's a message that I think everybody needs to hear right now. So that's what I'm focusing on right now, is trying to get as much awareness to that song as possible. So people, they can stream it, they can get it on iTunes, that kind of stuff. Yeah, just keep pushing forward and just trying to make a difference in the world, a positive difference in every way that I can, because I think it's important. It's important in life to use the gifts that God's given you to bless other people as much as you possibly can, and to do whatever you can to make the world better. So
that's great. Thank you so much. And we'll have a link at the bottom, and I hope our viewers will watch it and share it as well.
So we really are really appreciative of you willing to spend your time and being on.
Absolutely. It was fun. Thank you for having me.
You know, I'm from Delaware, and I moved out here in 2017 for work and school. I've been keeping in touch with some people, you know, on text messaging and some phone calls, but really nothing like this. And it just makes me feel much closer to everybody that's here right now. You know, and I think that's one of the things that are going to continue, for me at least, if other people are willing.
I mean, I actually probably talk to certain friends more now, just because either playing video games or whatever. They're just trying. I don't know. Yeah, I'm definitely more in touch with some people now that I don't get to see, you know, in a one-to-one.
Yeah, we haven't seen Josh in a long time.
I haven't left this room. This is my quarantine beard.
Literally down the road.
Angela, you should get in touch with Josh in the future. He's an amazing guitar player. I'm just
Yes, yes.
a sponsor for him here. Yeah, he's got some amazing talent as well, and I hope he can share it with more people than he already has. So reach out to him, and if he's resistant, reach out again. Okay?
And Delpy,
I'll
you're a
vouch for
bassist.
that.
No,
And
I just
you play
enjoy it.
bass.
Yeah, we all really like music, as you can tell. We got our.
Yeah.
Do you want any slap bass in your music at all? Because he's been working on some slapping. So if you want some freestyle.
And Brinker does film editing, and Tammy plays bass too.
Yeah,
that is true.
A little bit of slap in the bass.
Yeah.
I do.
And drums.
A little bit better with the drums, but
She bangs the drums and slaps the bass.
yeah, all the percussions, got it covered.
Cool.
Yeah. Guitar Hero. Did we play Tamra?
Oh yeah, that's right. And Angela, you know how to play a little bit of guitar because you did that one thing that was called like learn guitar in 60 days or something like that.
I can play a little bit, but
What do you write with? Do you when you write a song, do you use like a piano or sometimes or?
yeah, the piano. I have really good pitch, so I can just kind of create melodies and stuff like that, and then like I'll get with the producer and be like, "This is what I want."
Oh, okay.
Thank you for joining us today, and please hit the like button and subscribe, and join into us next time. Thank you, Oddcast podcast.
Perfect.
Yay.
Well, yeah, I think that's a good time. We can wrap it up. This was great, guys. Yeah, that was great. Angela, thank you again.
Thank you so much.
Okay, cool. Tammy, thank you for setting this up. And we'll continue definitely to have more guests on, and we really like this.
Yeah.
Have a great rest of your weekend, everybody.
All right. See you.
Yeah, you too.
All right, take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.